I've been grinding all day, I'ma hustle all night. I ain't finna stop till my paper get right. Headed to the top, I'll be on the next flight. All these haters talking down, boy, you better get right. Cause I've been grinding all day, I'ma hustle all night. I ain't finna stop till my paper get right. Headed to the top, I'll be on the next flight.
Welcome, audience. Welcome to Roll Club. This is your host, Obi Akram. Welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for watching on Facebook, YouTube, and also Apple Podcasts and Spotify, everywhere in the world.
Big time.
We have a great guest in the house. As I always talk to my crew here before, let me introduce. We're missing. Well, where's Gerald? Oh, Gerald's nowhere to find. I have to let him know. Yeah. I have to let him know so he can watch it. So Gerald is out because he's taking care of some business. We have DJ P on ones and twos. And we have Mr. Jerry producing in the background.
Yes, sir.
My man, the myth. I always say that. And for our artists today, we have also Peyton, DJ P. Our DJ will be performing. I'm so excited about this. You're going to kill it, bro. You're going to kill it, you know. And then my friend Tom Roberts in the house.
You know,
how are you, buddy?
Man, I'm doing well, Obi. And I just want to say that I'm sorry that your first, second, third, and fourth choice to host with you tonight all had to cancel, and that you thought of me fifth. And
no, you were scheduled with Matt.
I was scheduled. Well, listen. Either way, it's glad to be.
You know,
I'm glad to be.
You were scheduled with Matt because of a reason. You guys have both have a wealth of it, and plus your schedule is really busy schedule. So I don't know when you're in town, when you're not in town, which is that way.
I got a lot on my DVR.
Before we go further, I just want to let you know you've been sponsored by Farmers Insurance.
I love those guys. They got the best chocolate cookies in their office. You ever been to a Farmers Insurance office?
The Robinson.
The agents. Robinson Farmers Insurance. Where are they located?
Arlington, Texas. The Robinson Agency, Arlington, Texas.
Hey, I just want everybody, look right here. Everybody, in my eyes. If I needed insurance, there is no place I would rather go than the Robinson Farmers Insurance Agent in Arlington, Texas.
Yes, Destiny Robbins at 682-516-9189.
Obi, do that number one more time. 682 what? I'm writing this down.
682-516-1989.
They're great.
Robinson Agency. Check them out.
Great folks out there.
How are you, brother?
Man, I'm just excited to be here. I've been traveling around. I did have to go to Kansas City. I made it back from there, and been out to the East Coast a couple of times. And it's always good to be back here in Texas. But even better to be able to spend a little time with you. Remember the old days we used to get lunch? Now the only time I can see you is if I get a spot on your podcast here.
Well, you just gotta get my team, get with my team and just get your team.
Yeah, I'll just schedule time.
We'll just connect with, send your team.
It's getting a little harder, but that's okay.
That's what it goes. That's how it goes.
When you're big time.
But yeah, so let's talk about where. So you're originally from Texas, or you grew up in Texas, or where you grew up?
Yeah, no, I got here as fast as I could. I actually grew up on the East Coast.
Okay.
Grew up in Virginia. I lived in South Carolina and Mississippi and Tennessee. And so got to the great state just as quick as I could. So I've been here since the year 1999.
You have a North Carolina Cup there.
I do.
You lived in South Carolina. What's up with that?
Well,
that's my favorite college basketball team.
University of North Carolina. My brother went to Carolina.
Yeah, we need to go watch a game.
Yeah, we got to get out there. I mean, they do a fantastic job. Of course, Roy Williams just retired.
He did retire?
Yes, he hung it up.
Wow. We're going to talk about it on Trash Talk. It's our sports segment. We're going to talk about it.
Cool.
Let's talk about that. So I know you have... just tell people about a little bit of your beginning and becoming an entrepreneur, becoming a broker. Now you're in financial industry for 20 years.
Yeah.
Wealth of knowledge.
Well,
you're
nice.
a loan officer. You're a financial advisor now.
Yeah.
Series 6 and 7, correct?
Yes, absolutely right.
And now you just started your own wealth management company.
We did, yeah.
So that's all highlights. I want to know a little bit more, how did you get there?
Okay.
In past 20 years, you graduated college and, from there on, and you're just just tell people a little bit about yourself.
So, Obi, if we're going to really paint an accurate picture, though, about when I got started as an entrepreneur, that story actually has a beginning that a lot of people don't know. And it actually goes back to, there's a little town outside of Richmond. It's called Dinwiddie. Now, Dinwiddie, Virginia, is a little town, but it's not as little as Diddy, which, of course, is halfway between DeWitt and Dinwiddie.
Okay.
And so my grandmother lived in Dinwiddie, and when I was about 5 or 6, I told her I wanted to make some money. And she said, well, why don't you go out there and rake up the leaves in the backyard? I said, why don't you go rake the leaves? I'm going to make some money selling some lemonade. And so, yeah. So I went down to...
Grandma didn't whoop your ass?
No. Well, I think she whooped my ass just as a matter of course, right?
Right.
So what happened was I went and I set up the table, and we went to the Dinwiddie Market, you know, the one next to the pharmacy where the old guys sit and tell tall tales. So we went in there, and I got some Country Time lemonade, and I mixed it up, and I paid my grandmother $0.25 to mix it for me. I just figured that'd be some overhead. And so I set up the stand by the road, and she goes, well, Tom, you forgot to put the price of the lemonade on the table so that people driving up know how much a daggum cup of lemonade costs. I said, I forgot nothing. What we're doing is we're charging them based off the type of car they drive. That's what we're gonna do.
God.
And so when a nice car would come, now keep in mind, this was early 1980s. Okay?
And you're like 6-year-old?
Yeah, I was a little kid.
5-year-old?
I was 6, 7 years old.
You told your grandma you're gonna charge them based
on the car they were driving. You have to.
He was meant to be.
Hey, listen.
It was meant to be.
The first lesson in entrepreneurship is that nobody is looking out for you as much as you. Okay.
100%.
And so
I agree.
Here's the thing: whether it's lemonade or whatever you find to do, you got to look out for you. And I fully recognize, being a child, that anybody that would pull up was going to pay. At that point, they're hooked, right? You'd put the window down. Can I get a glass of that? Like, I could have charged them anything, right? And they would have felt bad to not. So some people it was a dime, and some people it was $0.25. And then if it was a really nice car, like Judge Mays, the old Dinwiddie judge who drove that Cadillac, I mean, I charged him $1 and I got it too. And I guarantee you, that was the most profitable lemonade stand in all of Dinwiddie County. It was the most profitable if you went down to McKinney or DeWitt or Diddy. Anywhere in Dinwiddie, that was the most profitable lemonade stand.
At an age of 6. Well, good job, buddy.
Yeah, now it didn't stop there, Obi.
Okay.
Because back in the day, in the 80s, when kids wanted to make money, there was a wrapping paper company called Columbia House. And if you grew up in the 80s and you were a Boy Scout, then you remember you got a subscription to Boys Life magazine. And in the back, there were these printed advertisements for fantastic things like survival knife, like $9. It had matches in it. It was a knife. You could do elective surgery with this knife. I mean, you could clean a deer, whatever it was, right? But beside that, you could also get a job for the Columbia company. And what you would do is you would take their catalog to all of your neighbors. And in this catalog, they could buy wrapping paper, they could buy greeting cards, they could buy whatever, and you earned a commission of $1 for every item that you sold. And so if I needed $20 for something, I knew I just had to walk around the neighborhood until I sold 20 items from the Columbia company. And at that point...
Did you, though?
Yeah, I did.
Damn.
Yeah.
So one summer,
I made, I did this. I probably made $300 as a 10-year-old one summer, just selling wrapping paper and gift cards and all that. And so at an early age, whether it was lemonade or whether it was selling gift wrap, it was something that I kind of got the bug for early. And I was very interested in, like, man, you can make a lot of money working for yourself. And I realized that you were only limited by your talent and your ability to not give up. Right. And so if you set that goal, whatever it was, if I just kept selling cards and wrapping paper, eventually, I would get there.
Yeah, that's an incredible story, man.
Yeah.
So from that, you went to
college.
College?
Yeah, and in college, I got a job because, there wasn't a lot entrepreneurial I could do that I went to. Listen, here's the deal. Y'all want some inside information here?
Yeah. Spill it.
I went to a Baptist college.
Oh,
dude.
Okay.
Like, no girls in your dorm, no drinking. I mean, it was just like you had to wear a tie to class. And so I decided early I was just going to graduate as fast as I could and get out. Okay. Now, so what I did was I went and got a job for a call center because I still needed to make some money, right? And so I made phone calls for the Virginia Fraternal Order of Police, and it would go something like this. Hey, Obi, are you concerned with the increasing crime and violence facing our streets here in Central Virginia? And you would say, well, yeah, of course I am. And then I'd go, like that, and a supervisor would come by, and I'd have them on the hook, and they'd donate to the Virginia Fraternal Order of Police, which, as everyone knew, when you received your sticker for your donation, you just pop that thing on the back of your car. If you get stopped by a police officer, they kind of tap on that as they come up to the window, and they recognize that you donated to the #1 and premier fund that takes care of the families of fallen officers.
You know what? I never got a sticker for that shit. Like, cause I've been donating.
You got to ask for the
we
sticker.
had to.
I never got the sticker because I've been donating. This year I donated to police and firefighter. They've been calling me and there's just like calls coming. But go ahead, continue.
You got to get the
like,
sticker.
Huh?
I mean, the sticker. I mean, you get that sticker, man, and it just kind of changes your
Oh
whole
yeah,
world.
no, I'm just kidding. Go
I haven't
ahead.
had a ticket since then. It still says, 1996 Virginia Fraternal Order of Police. It even works here. It's weird.
That's crazy.
So I get out of college and, I just start thinking about, it's funny, you know how you go and you interview for jobs, that first job out of college, and I'd gone to Florida, I'd gone to Daytona Beach, Florida, and I was sitting in the airport to fly back to Houston, and it started raining, the flight got delayed, and I ended up thinking, well, I've got 3 or 4 hours, and I noticed there was a little mall across from the airport, so I went over there to the Barnes & Noble, and right there on the front display case was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. By Robert T. Kiyosaki.
I know from that part. I know because you told me that story that you were sitting at the airport.
Yeah.
About that book, but didn't know the previous story, which
Yeah.
I'm glad I learned today.
Yeah, so we get a copy of this book, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to read this thing, and a couple of things that stood out to me that I think are applicable if you want to be an entrepreneur. The thing that I learned that was most important from that book is if you want to be rich, you have to understand the laws of money. And you've got to understand that the way money works. And if you can understand the way that money works and apply those principles to your life, then you're on the road to success. Before you begin your business, before you endeavor to take on the world, right? Whatever, for you, it's real estate. For other people, it's mortgages. For other people, maybe they're going to open a franchise or whatever it is. But you really need to understand how money works. And the thing that I took from that book that was so crucial for me was the difference between the rich and the poor is that the rich understand the difference between assets and liabilities. And an asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. Rich people know the difference between assets and liabilities, and they collect assets. And then part 2 is they let their assets pay for their liabilities. And so if instead of the other thing that I learned from that book was Kiyosaki tells a story about how when he was a kid, he has 2 dads. He has his best friend Mike's dad, who he refers to as Rich Dad. He was the entrepreneur, always starting businesses. And his own father, who he refers to as Poor Dad, who had a very high-paying job in the education system in Hawaii. But he said that his rich dad always said, don't say I can't afford it, because that's a poor mindset. And so you have to reframe how you think to say, how can I afford it? And so it, from an early age, got him to rethink through how he could create money, how he could collect assets, and then utilize those to pay for his liabilities. A lot of people just miss that part. They go get that big job, their first job out of school. What do? They go get a car payment. They go get a house. A lot of people think your house is your
Guilty
largest.
as charged.
Yeah.
I've done it.
It's easy
I've done
to
it
do.
for like, 17 years.
I mean, the
15
dumbest thing I
years.
did, Obi, with money, besides investing in John's restaurant, I did a couple of.
Oh man, here we go.
Did a couple of dumb things, but I bought a wave runner, from some guy off the back of his trailer, and we put it in over here on 820 on the bridge on the north side of town, and it ran around fine. I got it home. It never started again. I was out $5,000. That was,
Hey, wow.
so now I'm out John's restaurant, and which John, feel free to cut me a check, I was out for that damn wave runner, and then the other dumb thing that I did was I went and leased a 2001 Ford F-150 from Randall Reed Ford in Humble, Texas, right there on I-59 North, signed up for a lease there. I mean, they're good folks otherwise. Randall Reed Ford, if you're listening, I could use another one, but this time it's on you.
Or you can just call in the show. You know, we can work it out on sponsorship.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
You know?
Yeah, certainly. And so that was the other dumb thing that I did was I leased a vehicle. And, you know, it's really stupid to spend money on assets that go down in value. You want to let somebody else pay for those, and you want to collect assets that go up.
That's a dilemma I'm having. Like, I have to buy a car, you know. So I'm like, I don't want to get a brand new car.
Well, and
I'm already just gonna get a used car for sure.
And I've got to
pay cash and something like that.
Yeah, I think paying cash is the way to go there. But you know, we'll just quickly run through this, and this is this. Let's say that you pay $5,000 cash for a car. Okay. Instead of getting a car payment for a $15,000 car, you say, look, I've got $5,000. So instead of that being your down payment on a 15 car, here's what you do. You go pay cash for that $5,000 car. And then the $400 a month car payment that you don't have from signing up for that $15,000 car, you take that $400 a month and you save it. And 1 year later, you have saved 400 times 12 is $4,800. You've got your $5,000 car you paid cash for. Let's say it's depreciated to $4,000, okay? And then you take the $4,800 that you saved, and now you go pay cash for an $8,800 car. And then a year later, you've got almost another $5,000. You take the $8,000 on your trade and the $5,000 in cash, and now you're driving a $13,000 car that you pay cash for. So you pay cash to yourself for that payment, and eventually you're driving what you want to drive with no debt whatsoever.
Yeah, that's how you got your other car, right? You know,
I wrote a check for that.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
Rex is out there.
But let's go back though, just to the story. And now we're in the airport. We've read that book, and I came back to Houston. And I stopped looking for a job. And what I did was, that book, that Rich Dad, Poor Dad book, it talks a lot about real estate. And so I said, you know, I'm going to go into real estate. So I called up Champion School of Real Estate, and I had a great teacher there named Greg Freeman. And
he was mine too.
You got Greg Freeman live? I love it. Well, he did. 4 old ladies driving 35 miles an hour in a 60-mile-an-hour zone is how I remember how many square feet are in an acre. 43,560. 4 old ladies driving 35 in a 60 zone, right? But Greg Freeman was a fantastic teacher.
He's a great teacher.
He inspired me, and so I realized that real estate was a way that you could become wealthy in America. In fact, if you look at the history of millionaires in America, it'll be many of the richest families. Like take Ray Kroc in McDonald's. Somebody asked Ray Kroc one time, said,
"Watch his movie too, like amazing movie."
Yeah, I mean his life story is incredible. And they said to him, somebody said, "Ray, you've done pretty well in the hamburger business," and he said, "No," he said,
We're in the real estate business.
We're in the bingo. We're in the real estate business, right? Because the land underneath those McDonald's is worth far more than the value of the hamburgers that they've sold, right? And so real estate was just intriguing to me for a number of reasons. And so I wanted to get into real estate as a real estate agent and learn how this worked. And so helping buyers and sellers for a while. And then I said, well, I'm going to get my broker's license. And then I wanted to become an investor and start working my way towards becoming a millionaire through real estate. So that's really how I got my start as an entrepreneur.
But that's what you didn't do. You actually were in corporate America. You were actually in tech side of the things.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And so good question. So as I began to work as a realtor, I realized it's like, you know, for me, I had some interest also in the financial services side, right? And I said, I love this because I now know how to invest personally. It was a better fit for me on the real estate side to invest in rental properties and begin to collect those because I had this theory. Think about how long is a mortgage, typical mortgage? About 30 years, right? Okay. So when I was 25 years old, I said, look, if I buy a rental house at age 25, it'll be paid off when I'm 55. What if I could buy one every other year until I had 20? So every other year from age 25 to 65, I'm going to buy a rental property. And then when I turn 55, the first one's paid off. When I turn 57, the second one's paid off because I bought it at 27. When I turn 59, the one I bought at 29 is paid off. And so every other year from age 55 to 95, I will have a rental property pay off and my income will ladder up during retirement, while most people's income is either stagnant, flat, or worse yet, and I've seen this happen, declining. And so it occurred to me, if you could buy a rental property every other year from 25 to 65, you'd have 20 of those damn things when you're 55 years old, and then you start getting rich. And by the way, when you need money out of a rental property that's paid off, unlike the stock market where you have to sell the stock and pay Uncle Sam his cut of capital gains, on the real estate side, if you have a $300,000 house free and clear, you can call up the bank and say, hey, can I get a 70% mortgage? And they say, sure. And they write you a check for $240,000 that's tax-free. Why? Because it's a loan. And so understanding the laws of money, if you sell $300,000 worth of stock, you're going to pay capital gains. If you go get a loan against a piece of paid-for real estate, you'll get a lump sum of cash with zero tax. You still control and own that piece of real estate, and the cash flow from the rent on that property is still enough to cover the new mortgage that you created.
Right.
And so it's a way to build wealth in perpetuity.
And he has done that, actually.
Yeah,
I've seen his chart,
Yeah, so
folks, and he has done that since 25, right?
Yeah.
How many rental properties do you have right
I've got
now?
9, and I'm
That's awesome.
and I'm 40. I'm 43.
You're about to buy another one.
About to buy number 10. But here's the thing, okay? So, the quickest way to get rich quick is to get rich slow. And the way that you see people crash and burn is they start going to these fly-by-night webinars. It's like, hey, you can buy real estate with no money down, and you're going to buy 10 of these, and you're going to get rich. And none of the people that are selling videos to you about how to get rich in real estate are getting rich in real estate. They're getting rich selling videos to you, okay? Because people that are getting rich in real estate do not need to create
we're going to be
video
selling
for you.
some coaching programs in future, which you're going to feature on.
Maybe
they're gonna
so.
be, maybe it's not going to be this, just like a sales pitch, like the way you get over there. It's going to be more of a legit stuff, So let's just not go there, because I got to sell some coaching programs later on. Okay.
There you go. All right. Well, listen. Hey, it's not that we won't teach you how to do it. Right?
It's they're putting that information in front of them, and it's on the person. How do you receive that information? How do you apply it, and how further you want to go? Obviously, they're selling access to it. Any person that is serious about their money and time, they want serious people around them.
Well, that's right.
You don't want to waste your time with other people that are not serious about it. So you have to actually charge them, and so that way they know that okay, this person really, really wants to. He's gonna pay attention. I'm gonna give him everything. And all my knowledge, so I'm gonna charge him up front, so that way I know that I'm not wasting my time. He'll get a return on it, because I know all the stuff. I know all the ins and outs of it. Just as a mortgage underwriter, I know everything about it, right? Or processor, or mortgage, or real estate. Now, right now, I'm just it's like you have to get to a certain level.
Yeah,
in order to do that.
And the other thing, Obi, is the learning never stops, right? I mean, I went to college, I got a college degree, and then I got a real estate license, and then I went and got a broker's license. When I moved over to financial services, what had happened was I was interested. As man, I love real estate as an investment. I also love helping people with money. I really love helping people.
We're gonna get into that, because I know you have a whole. Presentation, but I want to go ahead and go over we're going to just go ahead and do a mortgage rate update real quick. And since you just got the loan officer license, we're going to go over it a little bit too. Maybe you can just correct me. So as I've been telling you guys, updating you on mortgage rate updates, we do have a LO in the house, but this part of the programming is brought to you by Evolve Bank and Trust, Tyler Gold app.
Love
you can reach him at 614-499-1808. But instead of me going over it, they do have programs, and I go over it every week. They have Heroes program, which is our firefighters, police, teachers, and our frontline healthcare workers. And I always tell our frontline healthcare workers, thank you so much for whatever you're doing on COVID-19 front and risking your life and everything. We do have a down payment assistance program for you. And also for our regular folks, I was watching Bloomberg. We're going to talk about it in a second this morning. But right now, number one thing is like, get yourself mortgage qualified. If you're in Texas market, make sure you are qualified and make sure you get your pre-call, make sure you're underwritten to conditional approval, because in this market, you're gonna end up bringing 20, 30,000 to the table. So it's really, really important, and we're gonna go over it right now. In a second, Tom gonna update you. But we do have a down payment assistance program. But Tom is also a loan officer. Tom, which brokerage you're with?
Yeah. So I work with Prime Lending. And so we've got over 400 different loan products that we can work with. So not only are we a mortgage broker, but we're also a mortgage lender. And so we have in-house products, and we can also shop for products to get you the best rates and deals on your mortgage.
I usually tell people what the mortgage rate is right now, like an average conventional and FHA. What is it today?
Yeah, so the rates today, you're still able to qualify in the low threes, assuming top tier credit, right?
2.75.
Yeah, I've seen 2.75. And remember, whatever rate you're quoted, you can usually get lower if you're willing to pay for some points, right?
Okay.
And so there's a number of different ways to do that. So depending on the resources that you have for closing, when you're looking at a long-term 30-year fixed rate, there are instances where you might want to buy down that rate a little bit. And so we can talk about the different programs and different ways that we can.
Do you guys have
financed.
jumbo loans for people that
Absolutely.
are buying like over 500?
Yeah, so the
600,000?
limit this year on jumbos in Denton County, Texas, is $548,250. And so if you're going to be borrowing more than
Repeat that number again for people.
$548,250 is the maximum for a conventional loan. If you get over that, you do need to go jumbo. And essentially what that means is, as opposed to being Freddie, Fannie, which are government backed, a jumbo loan is going to be not having that same protection from the government. So the rates are a little bit different. They're still fantastic. Matter of fact, Obi, last week I saw some jumbos at 2.875 on 30-year fixed. That was with 20% down. The other thing that's great about jumbo loans is they do not have mortgage insurance. Okay, so that's another feature because those are not mandated by Freddie and Fannie once you cross 548,250.
So do you have any advice for people that are trying to get pre-approved? Well, as a LO.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah,
let's talk about how to
the
look
market
good on
is like
paper.
crazy right now. It's like 15, 20, even like with. You're putting offers on and like to buy another home.
Yeah.
And you're putting 20, 30 over.
Yeah.
So in that market,
50,
like
100 over.
I mean,
It's insane.
It's crazy.
But let's talk about how you can put yourself. Okay, so listen, there's a lot of competition. And so what you want to do when you're purchasing a home is the first thing, like Obi's saying, is you want to look good on paper to a lender. So how can you do that? Let me give you a couple of quick tips, things that you can do when you're thinking about getting in to the home buying process. And by the way, your realtor will thank you for this. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to download a copy of your last 2 years of tax returns, okay? So maybe you did them on TurboTax, maybe you've got an accountant, wherever you did those, this is your homework. I want you to locate those last 2 years of tax returns. The second thing that I want you to do is to download your last 6 months worth of bank statements. Banks always and lenders want to see where your down payment is coming from. And so you do not want to be having money in a bank account that you can't explain the source, okay? So if you're going to get money from mom and dad or whatever, go ahead and get that in your account as quickly as you can so that 6 months later, those funds are considered seasoned, okay? The next step, so again, let's review. You want 2 years tax returns. You want 6 months of bank statements. Sign up for a free account on creditkarma.com and identify what your credit score is today. They utilize TransUnion and Experian. If you've got some little dings on your credit, you'll be able to find out who all of the creditors are in your credit file. And maybe there's somebody there that you've forgotten about. Maybe you opened an account over at Belk during college and you've got some $75 balance you never paid that's dinging your credit, but you utilize a free service. And many credit cards, Capital One will give you a free copy of your report. You can go to My Free Credit Report and get one in Credit Karma. This is a way you want to be on top of your credit, know roughly what your credit score is, and be proactive if there's something that's dinging your credit to go ahead and get that cleaned up. The next thing that I would tell you if you're wanting to buy a house, this is not the time for you to go shopping for a new car. It's not the time for you to go open a Discover card or an Amex or a Citibank. You don't want any new lines of credit when you are applying for a mortgage. So that's just good advice. Until you close on that house, no new cars, no new credit. I don't care if they're giving you 25% off at the Gap. If you just sign up for the card, it's not worth it. Because keep in mind, part of what determines your interest rate with your lender is your credit score. So again, tax returns, you want 6 months of bank statements. You're going to need your last couple of pay stubs from your employer. and you are going to want to check on that credit report and make sure that you've got that cleaned up. Another thing that I would tell you is this. Lenders are going to assess something called your debt to income ratio. And so that's a lot of detail that goes into that. They have something called the front end, the back end. Reach out to a trusted loan officer who has the heart of a teacher who can explain
Give me your
to
number.
you. Yeah, so you can certainly reach out anytime at 214-883-3897. Again, yes, sir, 214-883-3897. We can help you to get set up with all those things that lenders are going to be looking for. The last
And
thing
it's
that
prime lending.
prime lending, yes. Lending. And the other thing that I would say is this, if you have a good loan officer, this process will not be painful because what we're going to do is we're going to prepare you. We're going to identify the potential pitfalls. For example, what money do you need in advance when you start thinking about buying a house? Well, a lot of times your appraisal is paid out of pocket. Your earnest money, when you write a contract for a home, typically 1% in our area, you want to be prepared to be able to cover some of these costs associated with purchasing a home before you get to the closing table. So be thinking about the earnest money, be thinking about that appraisal, be thinking about your home inspection. And Obi, we got a couple home inspectors we like. You want to give somebody a free shout out there?
Well, we have a whole segment for it.
Oh, okay.
We got a whole
listen to
segment
me
for
out
it.
in front of my skis, right?
We got a whole segment. So
yeah, there you go.
with that said, we're gonna take a short break. We're gonna have Peyton perform today. Peyton is our artist today.
Shots. Oh,
we come back from the break. We have a presentation from Tom. He's gonna go over some stuff. We have Trash Talk, which is our sports segment. We have Real Estate Update, which I want to go over. I read the report on Bloomberg, or I was watching it this morning. I want to go over it with you.
Yeah.
The lumber costs and the future of real estate in DFW area, and Texas
future's
overall.
bright.
It's expensive, that's for sure.
Hey, you know why divorce is so expensive?
Why?
Because it's fucking worth it. Hey, just because something costs a lot doesn't mean it's not worth it.
Oh my God.
Hey, that's
All right,
some more free advice for you right there. Thanks for having me on for the last time.
No, you're gonna be on.
What's up, everybody? P the Poet, DJ P. I'm here every week, but now I'm behind the mic. What's up? Yeah.
One beat maker, the hit maker.
You know we keep it real around here. It's Funky Town, Texas shit. Yeah. Unknown to known entertainment. All I know how to do is keep it real. Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real. All my people, yeah, they just keep it real. Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real. All I know how to do is keep it real. Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real. All my people, yeah, they just keep it real. Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real. Only spin vexer, I do it like that. Better snap on the track, I'm ready to attack. I'm tired of these fakes and to get out my way, cause I'm going insane. Try to chase the fame like, ooh, man, what to do? About to blow up like the fuse. UTK, that's the crew. Coming to a city near you like boom. Cause it's our time, putting in work like a 9 to 5. And then some overtime, we heading to the top, this just a climb. Now here we go, we trying to do the most. One day, coast to coast, have weed by the truckload. Cause it's unknown to known, but till it happens, I'ma keep on rapping. They been sleeping on me, yeah, why they napping it? Yeah, I'm about that action, so put your hands up. Cause I don't give a fuck, and you can't wind up in the trunk while we cruise around the funk, smoking on that skunk. Cause all I know how to do is keep it real. Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real. All my people, yeah, they just keep it real. Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real. All I know how to do is keep it real. Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real. All my people, yeah, they just keep it real. Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real.
Straight to the point.
Yeah,
Straight to the point.
you already know. I'ma get straight to the point. All you fake motherfuckers got me annoyed, yeah, yeah. And the competition I will destroy while I roll up and light this joint, yeah, yeah. I'ma get straight to the point. All you fake motherfuckers got me annoyed, yeah, yeah. And the competition I will destroy while I roll up and light this joint, yeah, yeah. I'ma keep it real to my death. That's the deal, cause I'm just tryna be the best. So when I kill a beat, I get a fucking check. Cause I'm tired of my life being in a fucking mess. Cause it's always build this and pay that. Man, I'm just sitting in the lab tryna write raps. Murder beats, it's a homicide every track. Ain't no room to slack, cause UTK don't do it like that. And it's go big or go home. This game is like fire, you gotta deal with the smoke and stick to the G code. Cause if you feel like me, you were chose for this music, so you gotta stick to it. No going down, always improving. Once I heard hip hop, I was influenced to start a movement. Then it happened, my crew's about that action skills. We never lacking, got the entire crowd clapping. That's just what we do. No time to play games, just telling the truth. Man, I'm sick as the flu. Everyone just trying to watch how we move, but they don't got a clue. I'ma get straight to the point. All you fake motherfuckers got me annoyed, yeah, yeah. And the competition I will destroy while I roll up and light this joint, yeah, yeah. I'ma get straight to the point. All you fake motherfuckers got me annoyed, yeah, yeah. And the competition I will destroy while I roll up and light this joint, yeah, yeah. Alright, up next is the shit y'all can find on YouTube. We Don't Fuck Around, featuring the boy FILMZ Reality. Yeah. DJ T-Rod in the mix. Yeah. Down here, you know we don't fuck around. Catch me cruising on my side of town with the swisher rolled up, I'm full of that loud third coast shit. Welcome to the dirty South. Down here, you know we don't fuck around. Catch me cruising on my side of town with the swisher rolled up, I'm full of that loud third coast shit. Welcome to the dirty South. Texas where I'm from in the funk where I be. Catch me cruising down 32nd Street with the team always pulling up deep. Cause we here to change up the scene. Cause it's UTK, we don't play no games. Better put respect on it when you say your names. Cause I'm tired of you fakes, you just mad with every beat. I clear my plate and I don't care what you say. Cause I'm still getting bread. They know this kid is up next. I'm going to the top, nothing less. I ain't quit till my last breath. And I know it makes my haters upset, but I could give a fuck less. Cause down here we don't around. It's that funky sound. Come in with that funky sound. While we smoking loud like, ooh, is that Gorilla Glue? Man, I say chillin' with the crew. If you in the way, you better move. And if you hate me, well, fuck you. Cause I'm going state to state. And they all gonna know the name. Say it with me, UTK. Down here, you know we don't fuck around. Catch me cruising on my side of town with the swisher rolled up, I'm full of that loud third coast shit. Welcome to the dirty South. Down here, you know we don't fuck around. Catch me cruising on my side of town with the swisher rolled up, I'm full of that loud third coast shit. Welcome to the dirty South. And that's my performance. Follow me at P the Poet, aka DJ P.
Welcome back, audience. Thank you so much. You see a red little sign right there that says subscribe. Hit that bell button.
Smash
also.
it.
Smash it. Thank you for sticking around. Watching our show if you're watching on Facebook, hit us a comment and like or share. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, thank you for listening. All over the globe.
Yeah, I mean, it just
people
goes to
from
show
Germany.
that, yeah.
We have people from Germany. We have people from Russia. People from everywhere. Japan. And whenever, Peyton, thank you so much for your contribution today. It was an amazing show. Good job there. You made us proud.
Certainly did.
You ever watch?
In fact, I was.
This is
real
what this
quick.
is.
I'd like to give Peyton the Tater.
Before you do that, can I say something real quick?
I think so.
Okay. Whenever you're on TikTok, guys come on there and you say like, after watching this person, or
Side
it's
by
like
side.
after 2 days of watching. You seen that little viral thing? This is what happens with Tom. Like after hanging out with Tom for 1 day, my speech gets improved, and after hanging out with Tom for 2 days, I start yelling at people about money.
Hey, well, Obi, real
You should
quick.
do a TikTok.
Yeah,
You know how much money is enough?
not enough.
A little more.
Did you see my answer? See, I'm already improved. Not enough money.
Yeah,
That's enough money.
That's like saying, that you can't have beer too cold.
That's right.
know?
That's right.
There's another side to that comes after the cold beer, but we're going to leave that alone because there's kids in Germany watching, right? So we want to.
You never know who's watching in Germany.
You never know.
Or listening.
Hey, and by the way, before we go any further, I just want to say how much I appreciate you having me on the show tonight.
Oh, you're welcome, sir. Thank you for coming on the show also.
And by the way, I do need to brag on you for just a second because, the one theme, Obi continually has people on the show and he's very kind with the accolades and he's very kind with the, doling out of compliments. But for just a second, can we focus on you for just a second? Because, I met Obi in 2017. And a lot of you that are on the show would never know this because the damn guy is never going to brag on himself. And so anytime I get the chance to brag on you, I do like to do it. Think about your greatest accomplishment, okay? I think about, whatever it might be, right? Like getting a date with XYZ chick in high school or whatever you think the pinnacle of your existence is. Try moving to America at age 18, learning English from scratch with no background, and then at the age of 18 until now, when he's not even 40 years old, becoming an entrepreneur, learning our language, and excelling to one of the top and most respected realtors in the DFW area.
Thank you.
I mean, you talk about, we got a phrase like...
There's a story behind it. Like, I met Tom in 2017. I was still working in the mortgage industry. I was an underwriter. And we met at a RIA event.
Real estate investment.
Because I started out giving out cards like I want to get into investment and real estate investment. So
That's exactly
I met
what
him
happened.
in the lobby giving out the cards. And I was giving out the cards too. Like randomly show up and just start giving out cards.
And we're talking about being an entrepreneur. And we're talking about how to get started in business. How do you be an entrepreneur? And one of the things that struck me about Obi is Obi does not wait for the perfect game plan before he executes on strategy. Obi always takes action. If you want to be successful in any sort of new business, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, at some point you got to get away from the whiteboard and you got to get in the real world and you got to start taking action. And Obi, that's what you do each and every day. It doesn't matter if it's starting a podcast. It doesn't matter if it's launching a new aspect of your business. You're always taking action. You never wait.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you don't listen to people that say you can't do it that way. This guy kicks down walls, and so honestly, man, I really appreciate being on the show, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, the learning is mutual and it never stops. There's no degrees.
What I was
here.
gonna say is like I had lunch with him afterwards. Thank you for that compliment, though. I really appreciate it, brother. It means a lot.
Yeah.
I met him and we had lunch. After we had lunch, and I was already thinking about getting my real estate license done, in the background. And because I was giving out RIA cards, I was like so passionate about it. I was at my job, and somebody gave the card to my VP, which Maria, she's awesome. Cooper family is awesome, but you cannot have your active license while you're working as an underwriter. That's just part of the industry. You can't have this conflict of interest, having a real estate license and being an underwriter. So I had to make a choice, and I met him, and that during the same week, I was like, okay, Tom, you're a broker. I'm trying to get my license. Guess what? I came like the next weekend we hung out. I just showed up and I told you like I'm quitting my job.
Just like that. Yeah. I mean, it was.
I had John there. John Ziegler, you met him, right? You know, our episode earlier.
Unfortunately, lowest rated episode ever, but we made it through.
And I show up.
Just kidding, John.
I show up at a restaurant. I'm like, they're standing there having a cocktail, and I'm like, hey, four. And I was like, hey, Tom, hey, John, I quit my job.
Yeah.
they had the faces like freeze, and
Yeah,
they're looking at me. They're like,
a lot of
what
people-
the hell you're doing, bro?
Yeah, because a lot
You
of
know?
people, Obi, want to take the safe route.
Yeah.
And if you are ever gonna excel, there comes a point in time where you got to put it on the line and you got to take some risk.
100%.
And something that I've learned from you is it's a fine thing to lay out a game plan, but if you never execute, if you never take that step, you're not ever going to get there. And so the one thing that I continue to learn from you is you're willing to try something even if it doesn't work. You're willing to try something even if you have to go back to the drawing board. Your default gear is action. And
Always.
Yeah.
Every day. I woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning today, and I was working on our YouTube stuff this morning. And,
Yeah,
and then my mindset is like, okay, that's done. That's a goal for the day. What's next? I got to get this done. I got to get this done. And then that's what drives me every day. You know?
I
And
watched.
results will come eventually. Results will come, you know, and we talk about it. Jerry talked about it. Peyton did see it. But yeah, results will come afterwards, you know, because a lot of graveyards have a lot of good ideas also.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
people
exactly
die
right.
with it,
Yeah,
you know?
you know, you got to execute at some point, right?
You know, you only live once, right? You're
Yeah.
gonna have a small life, and you gotta make sure you
Yeah,
pursue
you
the
don't want
happiness.
analysis paralysis to keep you from ever taking that step. You know, and
100%. So what are we gonna get into? Like,
Yeah,
you
so-
were gonna tell some people some goodies
Yeah,
here,
so
man.
something that is really near and dear to my heart. You know, I grew up with a lot of people. I grew up in a middle class household. I was very lucky. My parents did pay for me to go to college. I told my dad I wasn't going. He said, "The hell you're not. You are going." And I said, "Dad, I'm never going to make anything from a college degree. I'm always going to make money in sales, doing something right." But I'm very thankful. I came from a good place. I certainly had a lot of advantages over what you faced, right? Coming to a new country, learning a new language, being as successful as you are. I mean, I don't think if I ever get to half your level, I'll have done really well. But
let's not go there.
but like,
I mean, there's levels of success. You know,
Yeah.
how you measure it. And you're very successful yourself. You have like multiple streams of income.
Yeah,
I'm
you know-
trying to get there. You know what? But go ahead.
yeah. So what I really, you know, and from our time tonight on the show, and for everybody that's out there listening, I think in America, it's sort of this dream that everybody has of becoming a millionaire, right? And it's something that is talked about, that if you can just become a millionaire, then you've kind of made it. And so what I want to talk with you about tonight is what I believe truly in all my heart. There's nobody listening that's within the sound of our voice tonight that cannot achieve a $1 million net worth. And so tonight, for just a few minutes, I just want to talk with you about what that takes. Now, you got to have two things to become a millionaire, okay? You ready for this, Obi?
I'm ready.
You got to have time and you got to have money. And to the extent that you don't have a lot of time, you need more money. And to the extent that you don't have a lot of money, you need more time. And so the first thing that I want to start off with tonight is there are a lot of people that are listening to this podcast tonight that you're just kind of getting started in life. Maybe you're just getting started in your career. And so assuming that you have time, I'm talking to you right now. If you're in your 20s, if you're in your 30s right now, I'm talking to you. And so I just want to give you a vision about how you can achieve a 7-figure net worth of $1 million or more. Okay? So I think that's a great first goal for everybody to have. Now, listen, we know, Obi, that there's going to be trolls out there to say, well, you know, $1 million can't buy what it used to buy. And that's correct. But you know what? It's a great starting point. And if you develop the habits that are going to get you to $1 million, believe me when I tell you, the second million's a lot quicker to get to. All right. So here's what we're going to start with. So we're going to start with the power of starting young. Okay. And so I was talking to the Mr. Producer before the show tonight.
Jerry.
Yeah. And so Jerry and I said, Jerry, let's say that you had a child, okay? You just came home from the hospital. Congratulations. Obi, how much money would you say if you wanted to invest a lump sum dollar amount today to ensure that your brand new baby was a millionaire on his 65th birthday? What do you think that would take?
900,000.
900,000.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah, just throwing out a number. Okay, Here it is. If you were to invest for your newborn coming home from the hospital, $1,544 into a brokerage account invested at 10% on an annual return.
Are you talking about like, monthly?
No, not monthly.
Yearly.
Literally. No, not yearly. It's like literally, I give you $1,544 for your newborn. If you're coming home from the hospital tonight, put $1,544 into a brokerage account, invest it. Your baby on his 65th or her 65th birthday is going to be a millionaire. And it's because of the magic of compound interest. Now, most of us don't have that luxury of having parents to invest for us, okay? So now let's change gears, but just to show you the power of investing from an early age. Now I'm going to talk to the 20-year-olds out there. Here's what you need. If you have $11,318 to invest on your 20th birthday, you'll be a millionaire when you're 65. Now, here's what's everybody thinking. Yeah, great, awesome, Tom. If only I had the 11 grand, that'd be awesome. But I don't have anything. I'm starting from zero. What do I have to do? If you're 20 years old and you're in the sound of my voice and you invest $95 a month, you'll be a millionaire when you're 65. $95 a month. Now, I want you to think about how many of you guys have a cell phone in your pocket right now? What's your cell phone cost you a month? Right?
Pretty much that much.
Right? It's about prioritizing. Now, one of the things that I read in Rich Dad, Poor Dad was you got to pay yourself first, okay? If you pay yourself first and you get in the habit of doing that, I don't care if it's 2% of your pay or 3 or 4 or 5, but work towards that. But if you are 20 years old and you can put away $95 a month, that's $24 a week. Okay, It's actually $23.75, but who's counting? But if you can put that away every week, you'll be a millionaire when you're 65. But what about if you wait until you're 25 years old? Well, now it takes $183 a month. What if you're 30 years old? Now it's $339 a month. So if you're 35, by the way, now you need $600 a month in order to reach that $1 million mark by the time you're 65. And so starting early is so important. And so this is something, Obi, that parents don't teach their kids. Because if I find this out,
nobody teaches that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if I find out when I'm 30 years old that I need $339 a month, that's okay. But if I didn't find out till I'm 35 and now I need $600 a month, it's a little bit harder. So the first thing that's really important is for parents, if you're out there listening, identify what is a reasonable amount that you can talk to your kid about saving. Because if they're 10 years old, it takes $34 a month to be a millionaire. It doesn't mean that it goes up when they're 18 or they're in their 30. No. If you start young, if you start at age 10, it's just $34 a month. That'll get you there. If you're 17, it's $70 a month, okay? You're 17 years old. You're in high school. You're working at In-N-Out Burger for $15 an hour. You're working 15 hours a week. You're making $7,500 a week free and clear after tax and putting gas in your car, whatever it is. If you just take $20 a week and put it away, you'll be a millionaire when you're 65 years old. But it takes effort. It takes intentionality. So the first thing that I want to say to the young people that are out there is if you want to win with money, if you want to have a chance to retire a millionaire, you have to be intentional. It doesn't just happen. Nobody wakes up. I mean, who saw the Super Bowl this year? Did you see Tom Brady? Mm-hmm. I mean, after he won the Super Bowl, you know what I did not hear when the reporter comes up to it, oh my God, Tom Brady, you're 43 years old. Like, how did you do it? You know what he didn't say? He didn't go, oh my God, I don't know. I mean, I signed this contract and showed up and then all of a sudden they were handing us a Super Bowl trophy. No, It was very intentional. Have you heard about what Tom Brady eats? I mean, the damn guy's eating lettuce. He's eating berries. I mean, he is being very intentional with his diet because he wants to eat things that are anti-inflammatory so that he recovers more quickly after the game. He makes sure he gets a certain amount of sleep every night. He maintains a fitness regimen. He does things that are considered, self-discipline in nature so that he can win. And in personal finance, the things that people do not understand is that you are not going to wake up with $1 million without an intentional plan. If you want to be a millionaire, you've got to have a plan. But here's what it takes. You need to know what is your number. How much is it going to take, whatever point you're at today, what is it going to take for you to win? And then number two, are you committing right now to doing what it takes? Not starting next year, not starting the following year. Are you going to commit today to put away what it takes for you to have $1 million in retirement? And by the way, here's a question for you, Obi. How many people in America do you think have a net worth of $1 million?
3%.
3%. Okay. The actual number, are you ready for this? Of millionaires in the United States of America today, 15,298,070 millionaires in the United States. Okay?
15,000?
15 million.
Million.
15 million people are millionaires. Okay? You know how
So
many
what is
people
that?
live in America? Like 350 million. Okay?
Oh, less than 1%.
So 12%. It's 12%.
12%.
Of total population is a millionaire. Okay. Now, let's take that a step further. How many people do you think have a net worth of $2 million? It's even less. It's 6%. There are only 8 million households with $1 million. But let's back up for just a second. If you have a baby today and you were to put away $12 a month or invest a lump sum of $1,500 at birth, they'll be a millionaire. If you want them to have $2 million, double that. Put away $3,000 for a newborn. Do anything you can. What would you do if you knew that you could change your family tree forever?
Jerry just had a baby, right?
Hey, congratulations
There you go,
on
brother.
that. So
everything happens for a reason.
So
listen to him.
$3,000 makes your baby have $2 million, and $25 a month makes your baby have $2 million at retirement. And so it's the type of deal where how come only 10% of Americans become millionaires? The reason is because people don't understand how money works. And so if you want to understand how money works, there's a couple of things. I want to give you a couple of things that you can do to make sure that you get there. So, by the way, a lot of you guys think that people become millionaires by inheriting their money. Do you know that 79% of millionaires inherit absolutely nothing? Zero. What they do,
lose it.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Or whatever.
Most people earned it, okay? Only 21% of millionaires inherited anything, okay? So for some of them, they might have inherited 10 grand. It's not like that made them a millionaire, but 79% of them inherited absolutely nothing, okay?
Wow.
Now, let's talk about something else. How many people think of the 1%? You know, we always talk about, oh man, the 1%. Do you know how much income you have to make in America today to be a 1%er?
No.
It's $515,000 makes you a 1%er in income. Okay. Now, if you want to talk about that in terms of millionaires out there, do you know how many millions of dollars you need to be a 1%er? You got to have $10 million. In fact, there are 1,456,336 American families that have a net worth of $10 million or more. But that's where you got to get if you want to be a 1%er. But here's the thing. To just be a millionaire, dude, who can't put away from birth $12 a month? Or if you're 20 years old, you can't put away $88 a month. Or if you're 30 years old, you can't put away $299 a month or whatever it is. And we're going to talk about on a future episode, I'm going to tell you about how you can do that with real estate and make it really easy for you. So we're going to come back and we're going to do that. But
With that said,
Yeah.
we're gonna go into our like a little bit. Bit of a real estate market update.
boom.
You know. And I promise you, Tom will be back, and he's gonna throw some wisdom out there for you guys. And so, Tom, you're a broker, so I'm sure you're looking at the market too. Currently, we have, as I've been telling you guys, my name is Obi Akram. I'm with XPT Realty. Tom Roberts with XPT Realty, also broker. And we're gonna talk about how many listings we have listed this week, 7
Do it.
days.
Give us those numbers.
We've been doing like every 7 days
Okay.
to give people a little bit of an understanding. So the 2,143 new listings came on the market in past 7 days. And we have about 3,200 homes pending to close this month. And we have about 3,000 homes sold past 7 days. So with that said, like we're very short on inventory right
Yes.
now. This is DFW market. We have
Yeah.
over 80,000, 65 to 80,000 real estate agents And we have. Well, I don't know our population. We need to check on that number.
Fact
check that.
It's around 9 million. But
Is it 9 million?
I think it's somewhere around
Population of DAW. Fact check that. We do that Joe Rogan style. He does our
I
fact
knew this
checks.
answer not even that long ago.
9 million people.
Roughly, I think it was around 8, 9.
So think of that number, Tom. 9 million people, and
A lot
there's
of
only-
tacos.
That's a lot of tacos.
Of the whole DFW?
Yeah.
The whole DFW.
How many tacos do you think our area ate on Cinco de Mayo? I had 4. How many do you have?
Cinco de Mayo, I didn't even go out because I was
Y'all ready?
working on myself.
Damn. Yeah, that's
So,
a fat joke.
You gotta like multiply it because
Okay,
it's
so-
Texas.
That was a
you know
fat
what I'm
joke.
So
What
this
is it?
says 7,573,136 as of 2019.
Okay,
There's
so
no
we
19.
we
So
have
probably- it's probably higher.
another a million.
Yeah, at least
Since
another
then.
million, at least, because
Since
all of
then.
them Californians
By the way,
coming to our
this
state.
part of programming is brought to you by Core for Contractor Roofing or Contractor Needs. Call Mike. Mike is at 817-996-1888. So I was looking at the report this morning, or actually watching it on Bloomberg. Lumber has gone up 60%.
Wow.
And lumber represents about 20% of the cost to build a home.
60%, man. And then the report says, like, because of the labor shortages, the trucks, obviously delivering the material is not there. The demand is so high for everything else. But it's not gonna, folks out there, if you guys are actually looking to buy a home, I would highly encourage you to go put your name on a new construction home list, so you don't have to pay $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. And if you're not finding the right community, me and Tom, we both have access to the new communities coming up because you're part of the network, which is A&M Recon. We get reports on it, like which new community is coming up before you're gonna know, before it goes up off the ground. So and then if you are looking to purchase that perfect home in the perfect neighborhood with the high school and middle school and elementary 10 rated on Zillow, and you are okay with paying $20,000, $30,000 over asking, the deal doesn't end there. Okay, you gotta have a real estate agent that actually understands the market. You gotta have a real estate agent that can communicate with the
That's
other
so
side.
Yeah.
You gotta have a real estate agent that can understand mortgage side of process, any hurdles you have, because you can lose your earnest money in this market. They will take it.
To the bank.
Those days are gone where they're like, okay, I understand you
Yeah.
you didn't qualify. Nope, we're keeping it.
Yep, that's
You know,
exactly right.
so,
You need a professional in your corner. It doesn't cost you anything.
No, it doesn't. Buying side, nada.
It's free.
Nada.
Free to you.
For our sellers out there, you guys are golden, man. You should be selling right now. My advice to you right now, go ahead and sell your home and get your top dollar. Let me find you a rental, a badass rental you can get into for 6 months. Put your name on waiting list for Toll Brothers or Grand Homes or Lennar. Go ahead and do that. That way you are actually securing when your name come up, because they are going to build homes in the DFW market. It's just the demand is high right now, and I would not see it slowing down until like end of 2021 and maybe going into 2022. But the problem with that is your interest rate. The Feds are already talking about it. They're gonna take away this. Probably this month it'll happen. The unemployment benefits, and especially in red state we're in, Texas, unemployment benefits are going away. Whether you like it or not, they're going away. So the rate's gonna go. The Fed's gonna increase the rate regardless. By June, July, August, you'll see an increase on the APR. So if you wanna take advantage of selling your home, or if you're purchasing it, more for buyers than sellers. Sellers, you guys are golden. You don't even have to worry about anything. You're just getting a rental for like 12 months. Put your name down and be done with it. The interest rate is not even gonna matter because you're gonna make 30% increase on your Zillow market value.
These results are not typical.
Appraisal waivers, it's something going on right now, which you guys need to know. And appraisal waivers are very tricky. So even though you put $30,000 over asking price, you never know what the appraisal going to come back because we haven't had sales in the area. They're still going off of the comps from 6 months prior.
And you know what happens then. So let's explain what happens then. Let's say that you offer $550,000 on an asking price of $500,000, and the appraisal comes back at $510,000. Okay, and you got to put a 10% down payment. You have to put down your 10% on $510,000 plus the $40,000 difference between the $550,000 that you offered and the $510,000 that the home appraises at, because that lender is lending to you based off that appraisal. Anything over appraisal comes out of your pocket.
100%.
So you got to be ready for that. Now, Obi, just before we close out here, a couple things that I want to say. We have covered a lot of ground tonight, but a couple things that I want to say. If you are in the preparation process to purchase a home, and you want to have a conversation about making sure that your finances are in order, if you have questions about anything that we've talked about how you can start your own personal journey towards that 7-figure net worth, I do want to make available our financial planning to any of the clients for XPT Realty. Anybody that's out here listening to the show, if you just have questions, you want to have a conversation, feel free to pick up the phone. Give me a call at 214-883-3897. There's a no-fee consultation where we can have a conversation about your life and your money and your long-term goals and objectives. Happy to help you get in a position to 100%. Purchase that.
And we will put Tom's information in bio. If you're on YouTube, you can check it out, like his email and his contact number also. So if you're think about it, I heard it, from podcasts, and where can I find that information? Every time all the guests, all of our artists, even like DJ in the house and Jerry, all of their information, their contact information is in the bio in YouTube. Just go in the description section and you'll be able to find everybody's information. Even our sponsors' information, if you need insurance, you need roofing, you need home inspection, you need mortgage loan, all of their information is in bio. We keep it available, or you can go to my link tree, you'll be able to get it from there also. But that was our real estate portion of programming. We're gonna get into a little bit of fun stuff, man.
Let's do the fun stuff.
Trash talk.
Married to the game, players never change. I got hustle in my veins, and I ain't been the same since I learned to slang. I ain't got no time to hang.
Yes.
Trash talk, bro.
I like that.
Sports. That's what we're gonna end it with today. We've been talking about numbers. What we're gonna do, because Tom is our first time coming on podcast. Jerry, what do we do that segment called? Like, if
money was a sport.
If money was a sport, and your rating, for that, like if you're playing Madden, there's a rating, right?
Yeah.
Player rating, right?
Yeah.
So what would you rate yourself at? So we have our ratings, all of us, because we're just in our beginning phases of our journey of financial wealth, financial independence. So mine is like 45, and it goes up and down. Depends on a month-to-month basis. Like if I spend too much money, lead with revenue, right?
Lead with revenue.
So I take away points.
Okay.
So, and then Peyton, what was your rating? Is it increased since the last time? Because we did last month.
It's definitely better than we haven't done in a minute. It was low.
I don't remember what we.
Yours were like 39. His was 33.
I feel like I was in the 20s.
20s?
But I feel like I'm at least at 30 now.
I felt like I had a 60.
How old are you?
Was it 1 to 100?
It's 1 to 100. And
Mine
yours were like...
Mine and yours was real close.
No, yours were like 70s or something like that, you said,
Well, I'm
right?
going to say 60 today.
I mean,
60.
I have...
Well, you do have Doge, though.
I did have...
I got Doge give me 20 points.
I got Doge. I invested in Doge. I forgot to tell you. Yeah, I got
Did
Doge.
you?
I invested in Doge.
How many Doge you have?
160.
160?
It's a start.
And
It is a start.
You still have 3,000?
Hey, here's what you need. You need $17,290 lump sum from your Doge to be a millionaire at 65, or I'm going to need you to save $142 a month.
I could do that a month, too.
You'll be a millionaire.
What kind of bank account does it have to be?
It can. Hey, listen, we can talk about that. Like it's a good. You just
Okay,
need to
yeah,
be able
we're
to
gonna talk
invest
about
it
that.
in the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
You'll have
Yeah.
Tom's contact number because you're going to be publishing everything. Get yourself
So are
in.
these index funds you're talking about?
Well, there's a lot of different investment strategies, but the point is to pick one of them and do something, right?
Okay.
And so what we've been talking about is assuming a 10% rate of return while you're in your 20s and then reducing that rate of return by 0.1% each year to 65 so that it accounts to moving to a more conservative asset allocation as you get older. right? So,
Tom, it's our sports segment.
oh yeah,
Okay, stop talking about numbers. This segment is brought to you by Every Angle Inspection. Chris, call Chris, 469, but great advice though, 573-3362.
Chris is a great guy too.
So I'm at 45.
He gives you candy when you get an inspection from him.
Give your rating out real quick.
I'd say
100.
I'm at a 61. I still got a lot of room to improve. You know what I mean?
That's you're based upon your own opinion of
Yeah,
yourself,
that's right. Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I got a lot of room.
And
to
then
improve.
whenever you go take trips on those, what you're gonna do, like European trips on
yeah.
cruises.
And next time
take away 2-3 points, bro.
You have to. And next time we're gonna talk.
Wifey go spend on wifey and kiddo.
That's right. And
Buy a car, whatever it is,
absolutely,
or Vegas,
or Rolex.
or Rolex. You spend on yourself. Take away a couple of points.
You have to.
So what's your goal? My goal is to be like at least 89, 90 rating.
Yeah.
Somewhere around
No,
there.
listen.
Nobody's gonna be perfect. Nobody's gonna be like
You always have room to
Warren
improve.
Buff. So
Right. Yeah,
I
you
want to get
always-
to 50 by the end of this year.
Let's do it.
it's awesome.
I like it.
So talking about Dallas Cowboys,
Brutal.
man.
So-
So we had a great draft. Did you watch the draft?
I missed the draft, but I do have a prediction. I think this year we win 10 games.
Really?
Yeah. I think
Based
we're gonna-
off of.
just my gut.
Yeah. Well, he's a Cowboy fan, so I can't even.
Yeah, I
argue
mean,
with him,
so I add 20%
And you are
based
too.
on what I think is statistically
Usually-
possible. And statistics tell me 8-8, but being a homer, I'm going with 10 wins.
I'm with you.
What do you think?
Hey, can we pull up the schedule real quick?
Hopefully it'll be the last 10 wins
Yeah.
towards the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Can we pull up and tell me? We can just do the wins and losses real quick.
Yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
just do that. Let's pull up the schedule regular
I'm
season.
ready.
Google it.
10 wins.
So while he's pulling up the schedule, we got a great linebacker. We got some safeties. We got some cornerback help also. Dak is back. He got his multi-million-dollar
Yeah.
freaking
He finally got paid.
man, $79 million.
I think he's going to be a millionaire. Dak, give me a call if you're listening.
He's generationally set, man. None
Yeah.
of his family members ever have to work ever.
Okay, so
You know.
our first game is against Pittsburgh.
Oh, gosh.
Loss.
and
Really?
then
Opening day is going to be a
Oh,
loss?
a
What
day
day of the
loss.
week is it? Is
Always
it
have a
Thursday.
bad.
It's a Thursday.
I mean, I'm a
Thursday night
big-
football?
Is this
I'm a
Okay,
big-
here it is.
preseason?
Yeah,
got
that's
a pen?
preseason. Hey,
Preseason.
y'all said literally the first. This is preseason.
Okay,
Okay.
well, write it. Pen. Do you have?
Yeah,
pen?
I got a
Let me have
pen.
Let me write it down in the back.
Here it is. You ready?
Okay,
Pittsburgh.
so week 1.
Loss, OBC. I'm predicting a win.
He went straight.
I'm
He's
gonna
like,
write it down
no
so I can take a
confidence.
picture. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah.
You have to
Week
give
1.
confidence in the first game, Obi.
No, it's Pittsburgh, bro. It's Ben. We always not play good. I mean, but yeah, okay. I'm giving them loss, and I'm gonna just put Obi and
Tater says that's a win.
Tom said win.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, go for it.
All right, I'm going with the win. I feel like we're gonna start off strong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course we
So
are.
who do we play next?
Oh, the New York Giants.
Win. That's week 2.
Loss.
No, we're gonna win that one. So you're saying loss?
Yeah, we're going to lose to that one.
Okay.
Y'all ready for week 3?
Yes.
Philadelphia.
That's a win.
Yeah, agreed. 5-star.
All right.
You don't have to invest any of your
And
money
then
that much. Just
Atlanta.
bet it. on the
Atlanta is a
Cowboys.
win because they don't have crap. We're
Yeah.
gonna win that one.
Or beat Atlanta.
Yeah.
All right. After that is
Atlanta's when you kind
Carolina.
of wish there was like a
Carolina?
minor league for football.
Who do they got? Who did they got
You know.
quarterback?
Panther, or I don't know.
Who's their quarterback?
We're about to find
I
out.
would give it a win.
I think we're going to lose to Carolina. It'll be time to screw the pooch by the time we get to Carolina.
you're saying loss?
Yeah, we're going to lose that one.
All right.
Oh, the next one though. After Denver.
Ooh.
Well, listen, is Aaron Rodgers
know.
going to Denver? I mean, if
That's the question.
so,
Yeah,
it's a big
that's-
loss.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a deciding factor right there.
I would give ourselves a win. But again, are we playing?
a tough call.
Hold on. Are we playing Malha or are we
It's,
playing?
it's to be announced. They're not. They just have what teams are playing.
It doesn't
doesn't say
matter. We're
home
gonna
or
lose.
away yet.
They haven't.
No, it just says.
Should've been already out.
It just says to be announced.
Okay. Well, I would give myself.
They're probably
I mean,
gonna announce it this
if-
week.
If
You know what I'm saying?
We'll just put a question mark on it. It depends on like if they're playing home, they'll win.
Yeah.
If they're playing over there,
They'll
that's
still
gonna
lose.
be. You think so? They'll lose.
They're going to lose that.
Okay. Well, I'll put a question mark on that. I'll get back on that one. So. All right, go for it. Week 7.
Week 7 is Las Vegas Raiders.
I don't know, man. That second year for Raiders, I'll give him L on that one for sure. I'm gonna give it win over here, but
Loss.
yeah, me too, Tom. With Chucky over there, but now he has like a second year in that stadium. He's gonna put some damage. He's get rid of all the people he needs to.
And then are y'all ready for the next week?
Week 8.
We're doing Arizona.
Oh, loss, big
Win.
time.
We got that. All day.
No loss.
Twice on Sunday.
You think we're gonna beat Arizona?
We're gonna be
no,
there.
bro.
They're gonna overlook us, and
Well,
it's gonna
Yeah,
be
that's
weird.
what that could happen though. They might
It's a
be like,
trap
oh,
game.
Cowboys.
It's a
And then
trap.
they're like, oh shit, Cowboys.
Isn't it Kyle Murray plays there? He's like another freaking, Russell. What's his name? Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Well,
Kyle Murray's played there, man.
That's why he's.
I don't
gonna-
know, bro.
I don't know. Maybe you're
I'll
right.
just give you a W over
I'm,
there.
I'm taking a win on that.
All right, that's week 8. So go for it.
Do you
Week
think?
9.
Are we doing the whole season?
KC Chiefs.
Yeah, we're doing it.
The Kansas City.
Easy win.
Hell no. We're not winning
Patrick
against.
Mahomes, dude.
So how many wins do you have already wrote down right now?
So he has for Tom 1, 2. Should we just do week 8 and close it out? And we'll do the other
We
8.
can-
How many does he have right now? I'm curious.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And,
So
no,
we still
plus
got-
Kansas
so-
City,
so-
5.
So we still got 5 wins left.
Easy 5 wins. Because I mean,
I think
Now
we got
keep
the
it
next
going,
one.
keep it going.
I think the next week we got it. I'm
We're
pretty
winning
sure
the
we're gonna
East.
beat the Chargers.
we're gonna win the East. Okay?
Hold on
There's
a
no
second.
question.
So I'm giving an
Yeah,
L.
keep it going because I want to see
I
what
wanna
these 10
go.
wins are.
You want to keep it going?
L.
Yeah, we're trying
Okay, so win.
We're betting on his wins. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so number 10, week 10. What is it?
The LA Chargers.
Chargers. Yeah, I would give it a win.
We
W.
got that one.
Yeah, that's
That's a W.
I'm pretty sure we got that.
I'm Tom
Up
probably.
next,
Loss?
Loss. I'm not beating-
Hard. So you said 10. You're
he knows which ones he's choosing though. He has
okay.
it.
Well,
he
he's
has
got
it
it.
planned.
He's got a plan. So.
Yeah, y'all ready for next week?
Okay.
It's the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
We
Win.
got that.
Vikings. I would give it a loss.
Do they have a strong defense still or no?
They
Win.
still do.
Yeah, it's a win.
That's a W. So, okay, for Tom. Okay, 12. Week 12.
New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans.
Win.
Saints.
No Drew
They're-
Brees.
I
They have
don't
nothing to
a lot
play
of-
for.
I
They
don't have
live
a
in
lot
a
of
swamp.
faith in Minnesota football. I mean, they're just the culture's different up there. They're hockey people, you know what I'm saying?
Plus the chicks there are not hot.
I'm gonna have to disagree. I've been.
All right, week 13.
Week 13.
I mean, they're hot in their puffy
Is-
jackets. That's when you peel that back.
Wait, where'd he go? All right, we're back at New York Giants.
That's a win that time.
What do we do?
Yes.
Week 2 was Giants, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna give
they're
it
not
a L.
winning that twice. They win the second.
And then it's Philadelphia
You're giving
again.
W? Okay, Philadelphia.
Again,
We
yeah.
haven't played Philadelphia the whole time? Well, we did play it.
Yeah, we did it once.
Okay, we did. Okay.
And then
Which week was that?
Philadelphia was back on the 3rd week, and now this is.
We had a win.
Yep.
And
You're gonna
then
beat 'em twice?
Then Tampa Bay after
You
that.
think so?
Yeah.
And we got Tampa Bay after that.
Oh.
We will not beat Tampa Bay. That is a loss. Where's
All
that
right.
game? Is that in
It's to
Raymond
be-
James?
It's to be announced.
Okay, so
Everything
Tampa.
I see
But wouldn't
is
that be
to
some
Oh,
shit?
that would be awesome to go to.
We'll be there. President's
Yeah.
Club.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Be close enough.
Or will that be during
No,
Catalyst?
It will be close to going to. Yeah, no, that's
Reflection?
December. Reflection, probably. Reflection, yeah. Yeah, I would give it a loss.
And then we have
You
Washington.
have loss on here?
No, we're gonna beat the Redskins.
Then it's
No,
Washington.
the red. No, I'm
Oh,
talking
we'll
about-
lose to Tampa. Yes.
Okay, so week 16.
Washington is.
Am I going right? Okay.
This says Washington, and then it says Washington again.
Yeah, because you got to play them twice. It just doesn't have the date.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
The Skins are so bad, our music stopped. Like the band quit. It's like
It did. It did. Do it.
just like.
So I would give
last,
W's.
And then last is the New England Patriots.
We'll win that.
Hold on. How many weeks we already have?
That's
seven-
all that it shows on mine.
There's 17 weeks this year.
Oh, there's actually.
Yeah, they added a game. That's why the Super Bowl's not till mid-February. Which is why we'll be in Vegas for James T. McCready's 45th birthday. Shout out to @real James T. McCready.
What's up, JT? So what was that? Okay, so Washington, and Patriots.
Yep, and that's the end.
That will be W for both of us, probably.
Yep,
W.
exactly. And now you see how I got to 10.
Did it come out to 10?
And I'm about to count
Let's
it.
see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Pats, I don't know. Lost, probably.
Wow.
What is it?
I'm sorry, it's 12. I meant 12.
Yeah.
So what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're just 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay.
12 wins.
We can take a picture.
We're going to the
picture.
playoffs.
Take a picture of that.
Take it.
$20 wager.
We're going to the playoffs, you said?
Yeah.
I mean,
Tax back.
I hope you're right.
all right. All right. With that said, that was our trash talk, but we didn't do any trash talk.
Hey, real
just
quick. Here's what we're gonna do. New
Kind
segment.
of argue
okay?
about it. Tom win the trash talk
Here we go.
because he was right about 10 wins.
I've got another segment for the show. Can I introduce a new segment?
Go ahead.
It's called "Where Will Bitcoin Be?"
What's your prediction?
Where will Bitcoin be
And what time?
at the time and date of the next podcast? So you got a forecast, okay?
Okay, where's
Where?
Bitcoin?
That's
at
too
right now.
volatile, man. Like that's like
That's why it's a
that's-
cool thing to guess, right? Like,
Okay.
Well,
All right.
I know everybody thought it was going to skyrocket after Saturday Night Live, and it did not
That's
do that.
Dogecoin.
well, that was
Doge
Dogecoin.
settled
Have y'all
down
heard-
at 50
Hey, have y'all heard of Pig Token?
No.
Pig Token.
So
Is that the next?
Look up Pig Token. $100 will get you like 3 million Pig Tokens.
it's
right?
at 57, and Bitcoin's been rising. So by next Tuesday is what you're saying?
All right, so what's Bitcoin at right now?
It's at 57,
57 and
73.
57073. All right, so a week from today, Bitcoin's going to be at 55,600.
Noted. We gotta let him know next week.
Let me know.
Yeah. What is the number?
55,600 Bitcoin.
You got it over there, Jerry?
No, I'm not writing it down. So you think it's going to drop back down to what it was a week ago?
Yeah, it's going to drop. Bitcoin, you'll notice
That
that
number one more time.
Did you?
55,600 next week this time.
We got it on podcast, so we'll
Got
be
it.
able to
Yep.
check it out.
I got it.
Yep, we'll see.
I got it.
So you don't see it reaching an all-time high?
Notated.
No, nope. And the reason for that is there's a number of competitors right now. And by the way, this is not to be constituted as advice. This is for entertainment value only. The opinions are my own. Your results may vary. But here's the thing. Here's what I see. You have a lot of different players on the crypto side right now. Okay, so you got Bitcoin, you got Doge, you got Ethereum, you got a number of different players.
Those
in
are
the
the three
space.
top ones.
Yeah.
Elon came up with a tweet today. They're gonna start accepting.
Litecoin too.
Well, they're gonna accept Doge as a Tesla payment.
D-
Or he put a
That could mean big things for Doge.
yeah.
I
They
mean,
put
I
a
think Doge is on a rocket ship right now, right?
yeah,
But so
to
here's
the
the
moon.
thing.
I'm
But
To
here's-
the moon.
Does it not concern anybody else that like Pig Token is on the horizon? Like if Pig Token's out, how long is it going to be till we have Badger Coin? And when are we going to have like Fat Chick Coin?
I mean, we probably could.
Well, there's a little bit of a
there's so many
story
altcoins.
behind Doge, though.
well, Doge was a joke,
You're right.
and so is
but
Fat Chick Coin. I just made it up.
but-
Somebody go create Fat Chick Coin and send me some.
People started exchanging Doge because they were sending to Africa water, so they were sending Dogecoin to buy water. That's how everything, like a little bit of a goodness, came from Doge, and that's where Elon kind of caught. It got involved with it and being funny, replacing it can't never be replaced, guys. Doge can't. So there's only 20 wallets in the whole entire world that owns most of the Doge. There's only 20 wallets. That's
So
70%.
you guys see why this should be a segment that we discuss
Yeah.
on an ongoing
There's
basis.
only
Like,
20 wallets, and I'd highly consider selling mine. Like at certain point, I have a number in my head. I will sell
So
mine.
how high do you predict Doge could actually go? And I mean, I know
Because-
anything
well,
can
let's,
happen.
Let's talk
but-
about something. Doge is not constrained like Bitcoin,
Right, it
right?
doesn't have
So
a
there's a
cap.
finite amount of Bitcoin that can be mined.
Right.
Exactly.
There's
The
no cap
problem
to
that
Doge.
you have with any form of cryptocurrency that can be infinite in its production is the mining
just-
of that can continue indefinitely. So what is to constrain supply? So price is always dictated by supply and demand, okay? If you have an infinite supply of something, then it is very difficult for demand to continue to rise. Now, what I believe has happened is you have Bitcoin that's reached critical mass and selling for $50,000, $60,000 a coin. And so the investor that does not feel like they have deep pockets, that still want to feel like they can participate, that has contributed in a large degree to the success of Dogecoin.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah.
Because I can own a whole
Doge is
Doge.
for the people.
I can
people's money.
I can
That's
own
what
a
it
whole
is.
Dogecoin, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody can own a whole Bitcoin. So think about this for a second. There is a possibility of 21
I
million.
wish I bought it at $4,000.
I mean, dude, I remember when those things were $25, right?
Yeah.
And you've seen them online. But so Bitcoin has a possibility of 21 million coins to be mined. There so far have been 18 million mined, of which 3 million are lost. So there are 15 million roughly in existence, another 3 to go, right? And you now have critical mass having been reached. You can buy a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken with Bitcoin. You can buy a Tesla and Apple computer. There are a number of places that accept Bitcoin for payment. So it's becoming fairly mainstream. As that happens, the volatility is flattening out, right? A little bit. A big drop for Bitcoin now is going from 60,000 to 49,000 2 Sundays ago, right? But what you're not seeing currently it dropping to 3,000 or 4,000, right? It's reached a critical mass.
Yeah,
You now
it's
have some large
leveled.
investment firms that are looking at ways to make it available to accredited investors. It's not going away. It's been accepted, and Bitcoin is your gold standard, okay? So what's happening now is there's competition for the blue-collar dollar. Okay, so this is where Dogecoin, where you'll see new emerging coins like Pig Token constantly vying for wallet share, okay? So some of these will advance, others will not. And so as Dogecoin becomes unattainable for certain people, or they feel like there will be a new crypto birth that will have new money for a while. And so the question becomes, if you flood the market with available cryptos, which ones are going to advance, which ones are going to decline, which ones are going to catch, which ones will not?
All I want to do is go to the strip club and throw my
feel
Doge
what-
coins
I feel
up
what
in the
Doge
sky.
has for it, though, is
I'm gonna make
kinda,
it rain with Doge coins. What's up?
I feel like something Doge has is something is similar to something that Bitcoin had. Is that the name and everybody and how much people knew it. Like you could say Doge and you could say Bitcoin, and even people that don't mess with it kind of know what you're talking about. They're like, oh, crypto. And Doge is kind of taken off in like a mentally toward people that don't know about it. So I feel like Doge has a better chance compared to
All the
these
rest of
other
them.
altcoins, because the other altcoins, the only
It'll
way you're
flatten
looking
out.
for them is
I would say it'll flatten out too. Like, it won't go as high as
So-
Bitcoin.
no, I don't
So
think
let's
it's
talk
as high
about
as
you know,
Bitcoin.
let's
so-
talk about something on
I don't know if it'll even
for
go
a dollar
past
for
$5
dollar
$10,
or some.
but
I don't know.
Let me talk for just a second about what is appropriate for you or me or anybody to invest in something like that. So let's talk about speculative investing. So how does an investment in Dogecoin or Bitcoin differ from going to Las Vegas and putting down $100 on a rental
don't
block,
really.
right? Okay, so let's agree that for now it could be aptly described as a gamble.
It is, yeah.
So
It's very
then,
much a gamble.
what percent of your money should you be investing in something like that? And I would want to encourage anybody that's listening to me, your play money, right?
Exactly,
Money that you
yes.
are willing to lose. The same as you would treat money that you take to Las Vegas, the same that you would treat money that you're throwing away for the weekend if you were to take your girl or guy out on a date, whatever the case might be. If that's $50 for you, if that's $1,000 for you, whatever your money is that you are 100%
and would you
willing to
suggest
lose, that
pulling
you can
your
put in.
investment back out whenever it's fit.
So the question regarding when to sell.
Why don't we do this like off?
Well,
off
just pull your investment back
Well,
out.
why don't we-
Maybe
Initial investment.
that's why they should tune in next week.
why don't we do that?
We'll
off-
answer that question
Yeah,
next week.
why don't we do that?
When do you
next
take it
weekend,
out? When do you
next
sell?
week? And then I just want to let everybody know. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Tom, for
Yeah,
coming.
absolutely.
This is end of our show.
Very good
We're
time.
out of time. I appreciate everybody for coming.
Do you guys validate?
And thanks a lot. Thank you, DJP, for performing. Thank you, Tom, for coming.
Thanks
and
to our
Jerry.
sponsors.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for
Love
our
you
sponsors. This is Real Club, and I am Obi Akram.
I'm
and
Taylor
have a great
Lone
day.
Star. Have a good one.
They tried to turn the low, take me to the bottom, want me to rap because the hurt I caused. I admit I don't be focused on love, I'd rather be up on my grind. Call up the crew. When your family is never at a damn thing, when your family is never at a damn thing, you go and get it.
Go and get it, go and get it, yeah.
You go and get it.
Go and get it, go and get it, yeah.
When your family is never at a damn thing, when your family is never at a damn thing, you go and get it.
Go and get it, go and get it, yeah.
you go and get it.
Go and get it, go and get it, go and get it.
Still get my money up out of the street, still making sure that my family eat.